honor and praise upon you and your...
Hello.
Yes? And who might you be? The Kin Lady is currently engaged. She's holding a conference with Shimmerine's elite to discuss certain political matters. Yes, so you do. And may I say that your outfit is suitably elegant. Please, head into the garden.
We all have concerns regarding the Queen's decree. I assure you that I am working with all Dark Takala to safeguard the sanctity of Shimmerine and all of Summerset. Enjoy the food and drink. Business of the city requires my attention, but I shall rejoin you shortly.
Have you come to hear what the Kin Lady has to say as well? I thought her open letter brilliantly captured the mood of Somerset's elite, but the Ascendants know the Queen has her supporters, even here. Does it? Perhaps. The newcomers are different. They understand neither Altma society nor the rules of protocol and etiquette. Makes my job as an officer of the Divine Prosecution more difficult. I just hope the new Aldark really has a plan. Well, don't really know the new Aldark all that. Wait a moment. I don't know who you are, and I'm not sure I like the tenor of your questions. Perhaps you should move along before I forget this is a social gathering and that I'm not on duty?
One thing you can say about Kin Lady Avernese, she knows how to cater an affair. Have you tried the golden pear punch? It's absolutely ambrosial. As one Altma to another, I can put up with her foibles as long as the drinks continue to flow. Am I? Some probably see it that way. What do I care? I'm the Canon Reeve of Shimmerine. Kin Lady Avernese may outrank me, but I'm the one who keeps the city's bureaucracy functioning smoothly. It's what I do. What were we talking about again? Complain, most likely. My cousin excels at that. I assume she may have something else worked out with the new Old Ark, but she has yet to bring me into her confidence on the matter. Frankly, I assumed that's why we were here.
I took time out of my busy schedule to listen to the Kin Lady's plan, and what does she do? Walks away and leaves us waiting. Only a noble would be so rude. I hate it when issues remain unsettled. It's bad for business. Everyone knows what the Kin Lady thinks of the Queen's decree. I suppose she plans to oppose the new policy. Keep more Nebara from reaching our shores. Somehow. I just hope she doesn't do anything that ruins our expanded trade agreements. That's a loaded question, Nebara. Look, I get as nervous as a pigeon in a griffin eyrie just thinking about having a lizard living right next door. But I can't argue with the Queen's success. The expanded trade agreements have been a star send. Nebara? Well, I suppose that's our word for the newcomers. I guess you could say it's impolite, but old habits can be hard to break. No offense. Look, I don't have an issue with the newcomers. Some of my best workers weren't born on the island.
I see the Queen's decree has even attracted some of our wayward brethren back to our shores. But make no mistake, Ultima or not, you're as much a newcomer as one of those cats or lizards. You heard that somewhere, did you? I'll have to have a discussion with the Divine Prosecution about how lax our security has become. No, I jest. The Kin Lady and I have nothing but the best interests of Summerset and the newcomers in mind. You really are well informed about things here in Shimmerine, aren't you? For an outsider. Though your heritage might be Ultima, but you aren't a native of Summerset. You simply don't have the bearing and cultured air of a true child of the island. That's a serious accusation to toss around so casually. What did you say your name was again? I want to make sure to add it to the Divine Prosecution's observation log. For your own protection, you understand. I suddenly remembered some business I need to deal with as well. Feel free to pester the other guests in my absence.
You barge into my home without so much as a by your leave. sorry, Kerem, but I have no time for petitions or solicitations today. I have important work to get back to. Perhaps you can talk to my cousin. She's the Canon Reeve of our fair city. Such innocence. You really want to know why I oppose the Queen's order to allow newcomers to enter Summerset? Because I'm trying to protect both the island and the newcomers. It's in everyone's best interest that we maintain a separation. Aldark Tilkala came highly recommended. He has grand plans for protecting Shimmerine. Grand plans. Unfortunately, in my haste to deal with the Queen's decree, I may have made an error in judgment. Not that it's any concern of yours, but my Chancellor has been unable to verify the Aldark's existence prior to when we met, and I recommended him for the position at the monastery. I assure you, Kinlord Millenthal praised Tilkala to no end. That's preposterous. Aldark Tilkala sequesters the newcomers to ascertain their suitability for life in Summerset. Those who pass will find a place here. As for the rest, they'll be returned to wherever they came from. That's what we agreed to.
My lady, one of the monks said to deliver this message. It's from the Aldark himself.
The Coral Forest. An odd location for a meeting, but I need to hear the Aldark's explanation.
Pretend you are adjusting your boot or admiring the architecture. As hard as it may be, look anywhere but directly at Raz. Good, good. Now, tell Raz what you learned at the King Lady's manor. Raz thinks Avanis is as naive as she is complicit, but she's not a murderer. This new Aldark, though, has so much blood on his hands, it looks like he's wearing red gloves. From what I could discover, he didn't exist before he came to Shimmerine. The Coral Forest? A strange meeting place. Raz thinks we should go and see what the Aldark is up to. After I take back that outfit, I might need it again later. Ah, you have a pretty admirer, my friend. The Sijic Sage, yes? Here she comes now.
I'm glad I found you. While watching the King Lady's mansion, I saw her ladyship sneak out the back and leave the city.
The King Lady is meeting the Alldark in the Coral Forest. Raz smells something, and it isn't moon sugar biscuits.
Your reputation precedes you, Eye of the Queen. I am Valcerin of the Sijic Order, and I agree that the Alldark is more than a simple monk.
We should work together, yes, but let's travel separately to avoid attracting unwanted attention. Raz will find you both at the Coral Forest.
I get a lot of robed customers. Not sure what organization they're from, but I don't much mind, as long as their gold is good.
This is what dealing with High Elf nobles gets you, Bringus. Please, you must help. I think my cousin Bringus has been captured by werewolves. Bringus got caught up in a love affair, see? Decided to run off with some High Elf named Neerlin. I was supposed to meet them in Archon's Grove, help them get off the island. But when I got there, all I saw were werewolves. Yes, I'm sure of it. I couldn't find them anywhere. I did meet a High Elf named Estadel. He wouldn't tell me much, but he was definitely searching around the Grove. He may know more about the situation than I do.
One of Summerset's more unique environments, the Coral Forest. I used to love coming here when I was growing up. We need to find out why the Aldark asked Kin Lady Avanice to meet him out here. Based on what we saw in the monastery's undercroft, I'm hesitant to use magic to locate them. I suppose we'll have to find them through mundane means. Too bad the Queen's spy isn't here yet. I understand he's good at this sort of thing.
Nothing of the plan, you fool. Let me give you a taste of what the Prince of Bargains has in store for this pitiful world.
Your prince! I want no part of Daedra! Help!
The Aldark. We'd better hurry.
Come, never... Yagra! Destroy these fools!
You deal with the Aldark. Razumdar apprehended the Kin Lady. They're at the west edge of the Coral Forest. What happened to Aldark Tilkalar? Did he escape? I think we can conclude that Tilkalar wasn't actually an Oldark. At least, not with his connection to the Prince of Bargain's Clavicus Vial. Strange magic and creatures worry me, however. Hopefully the pearl I sent to Artaeum can tell us more. You'd be surprised what a particular object can reveal if you know how to unlock its secrets. I need to return and tell Rightmaster Ikesis all that transpired here. If you're willing, I'd like you to come to Artaeum and confirm my story. The Rightmaster leads the Sijic Order from Kapora Tower on the island of Artaeum. This spell attunes you to a portal near Shimmerine in the ruins of the Keep of 11 Forces. It always leads to Artaeum, no matter the island's current location. One more adjustment and there! You are now attuned. Find me on Artaeum after you finish with the Eye of the Queen.
Ah, Five Claw. The Kin Lady and Raz had the most illuminating conversation. Queen Irene will be disappointed that the Kin Lady of Shimmerine allowed a false Oldark to murder so many newcomers. Such a scandal makes other travelers uneasy about coming here, yes? The Prince of Bargains. That could only be Clavicus Vial. What oblivion-inspired nest of vipers has Raz stumbled into? This one has a very bad feeling about all of this. Where is the Sijic Sage? Raz would like to ask her what she thinks. The Sijic Order's interest in all of this concerns Raz Umdar. This one has never had much love of magic, or those that practice the art. On the other hand, now Raz has his own person on the inside. An Eye of Raz, if you will, yes? Then you must go to Artaeum and discover what the Sijics have learned. When you return, you can tell Raz all about it so he can pass it along to the Queen. Yes, Raz likes this plan. In the meantime, Raz will investigate the Daedric connection.
Have you come to gloat? To kick me while I wallow in my own misery? Well, go ahead. I deserve it. I met him at Kinlord Millenthal's party in Eleanor. We had similar ideas about the Queen's decree, and I recommended that he lead the monastery. Summerset isn't a stew pot, and the various races aren't ingredients to be sprinkled in like so much spice. What a hateful accusation. Tilkala told me he was going to send them back where they came from. I had no idea he planned to kill them. I give you my word. I just wanted the newcomers to go away. And to find out he worshipped Daedra? How crude. I certainly hope not. We'll have to get the Divine Prosecution in there to gather up the monks Tilkala brought with him to Shimmerine. We can't have Daedric cultists desecrating a holy site. I suppose I need to beg for mercy from the Proxy Queen.
Stay alert, Five Claw. Raz has heard Sijics turn people into chickens and make them explode, to die covered in feathers instead of fur. Ooh, such a horrible demise. In the meantime, Raz will send Avenice home until the Proxy Queen renders judgment.
What do you mean you lost the map?
I didn't lose it. I threw it in the water. I must say, I've just had the most dreadful day. First, my betrothed runs off with some wood elf, and then she manages to get kidnapped by werewolves. At this rate, my reputation may never recover. To think Nirelin would put me in such a position. What do I care about Brengus? Honestly, I'd rather leave the two lovebirds to their fate. But if word got out that I left Nirelin to die, or if she managed to escape and actually marry that wood elf, suffice to say, I can't just leave her. Well, I'm certainly not risking my life. You have the look of a ruffian. Want to take on the task? If you collect Nirelin, or at least what's left of her, I'll make sure you're paid handsomely. Oh, and you could save Brengus as well, I suppose. Excellent. Once you've finished, meet me near the Mages Guild in Shimmerine. Of course, discretion is key here. I want no word getting out about this little incident, not even to common folk. Rumors do tend to spread, after all. Do you know how long this marriage arrangement has been underway? Decades. Decades worth of work. All gone if Nirelin smears her name through wood elf muck. Why, I'd rather suffer 1,000 cuts than such a wound to my reputation. You really don't know? Ah, you must be a newcomer. Every high elf marriage in Summerset is meticulously planned. A matchmaker must be contacted to research the couple's star charts, pedigree documents, that sort of thing. It's a lengthy process. It's necessary. After all, we high elves strive for excellence. Marriage is no different. You might want to look into a matchmaker yourself. Of course, it wouldn't take nearly as long as someone of my standing, and you'd be thankful in the end. You know how it is. The pressure of high expectations does not make diamonds of us all. Sometimes someone cracks. Nirelin just cracked harder than most. Ran away from home and straight into a wood elf's arms. Can you even imagine? Break off our engagement? At this point? Preposterous. After all, the invitations have already been sent. Pending death, there's no honorable way to cancel now. Discreetly putting this incident behind us is what's best for both parties.
didn't you all hear me? I want to be left alone! Wait, you're not one of the pack. Well, you're not even a werewolf. You need to leave now. It's far too dangerous here. They've already killed Brengus, and it's too late for me. Estidel. I thought I heard him whimpering earlier. I told you, it's already too late. I've been turned. There's no place in Summerset society for a werewolf. I'm doomed to live out the rest of my cursed existence as an outcast. What other choice do I have? I was miserable with Estidel, and I thought Brengus was my one chance to escape, to leave that life behind. He was going to protect me, and in the end, he couldn't even protect himself. No, I can't live like this, serving the very beasts who took everything away from me. Just end it, please. I'd rather die than be miserable. You can take my signet ring. That will prove to Estidel that you found my corpse. Fine. Take it and go. I don't know what to do now, but at least I'm free to make that choice. Perhaps I'll find something to truly care about, even as a werewolf.
Welcome to Arteum, traveler. I know it can all be a lot to take in at first, so please feel free to ask me any questions. I have quite an extensive knowledge of this island's history. Though it may be hard to believe, Arteum was once part of the Summerset archipelago. That's why the flora here may seem so familiar to you. Of course, our order has now moved the island to somewhere else entirely. Someplace safe. I don't have authority to tell you any further details, I'm afraid. Our order has the ability to move Arteum or even make it intangible. That's how we've protected ourselves from invaders and outside forces. In a sense, as observers of Tamriel, my order cannot allow outside forces to influence our judgment. Isolation allows us a certain neutrality on matters. And with the way things are back in Tamriel, I can't see us returning anytime soon.
Hello.
I happen to be the only merchant on Arteum. Not that I get much business, mind you. In fact, you're my first customer in weeks.
And there was no sign of Lathan. I don't know whether to be grateful or concerned.
We'll find him, Val. Now go check on the Pearl while I speak to our new guest. What a rare honor Valcerin bestowed upon you. Only a select few not of our order have ever walked upon this sacred island. Val tells me your aid was indispensable in uncovering the false Aldarch's plot on Summerset. Unfortunate, certainly. The magic you describe sounds familiar, though I can't quite recall where I've heard of it before. I fear the pearls may be a harbinger of the threat Sotha Sil warned us about. Sotha Sil, one of the living gods of the Dark Elf Tribunal. He's an honorary member of our order. After an attack on his Clockwork City, he warned us about a Daedric threat to Summerset and Artaeum. I sent Valcerin to investigate. Indeed, but not until we finish studying the Pearl Valcerin brought us. There are mysteries to unravel, and Val believes you will be instrumental to our success. We can get started immediately, unless you want to explore our island first. The next step involves a thorough examination of the strange pearl you and Valcerin recovered from beneath the Shimmerine Monastery. Hopefully, we can learn more about the false Aldarch and the source of the pearl's magic. We are the Sigic Order, friend of Valcerin. There is very little we cannot accomplish through the application of the old ways. Every object remembers its history. The trick involves selecting the correct ritual to reveal those buried memories. While I head inside to begin the augury ritual, I'd like you to go to Sotha Sil's study in the tower, find my acolyte, Oriandra, and ask her for Sotha Sil's amplification elixir. We may need it if the pearl proves to be resistant to our magic.
Friend of Valseren, I have a proposal for you. Tranquil greetings, Caraval. You will forgive me if I seem awkward. We rarely entertain guests here on Artaeum. I am Caloris. Right Master Ichesis told me a great deal about you. I suspect he has plans for you within the Psijic Order. The Right Master holds you in high regard. That is proof enough of your worthiness. The Psijic Order requires practical wisdom, outside perspective. Unless I miss my guess, you can provide both. You would be a worthy addition to our ranks. Eager to begin? Good. Eagerness is just what we need. Your first lesson begins now. The Order has detected a number of irregularities on Tamriel. Small breaches in the fabric of time. I would like you to seal them for me. The first cluster of time breaches appeared on the Isle of Summerset. You should start there. Go speak with my apprentice, Josaja, in the Athenaeum. She will provide the tools you need, a map, Psijic seals, and the Augur of the Obscure. A noble heart and a solemn commitment to the good. Achieving membership in the Psijic Order is a serious and lasting endeavor. You must be prudent, but fearless, withdrawn, but compassionate. It is not something to be taken lightly. Too reclusive, I fear. The truth is that we have grown old, Caraval. A mixed blessing, I suppose. Long years of seclusion have allowed us to study and learn, but always at the cost of our relationship with the outside world. We need youth, vigor. As your knowledge of the old ways grows, so too will the rewards. For instance, we are prepared to teach you new and powerful spells. As in all things, the best teacher is experience. This matter of the time breaches will act as your exam. Only this. Purge yourself of selfish intent. Membership in the Psijic Order will bring you both prestige and power, but such honors often lead to Wegnithir, the bad change. What you do in the Order's name, you do for others, never yourself. The map will show you the approximate location of each time breach. I apologize. Our visions, while powerful, are not always specific. Make your way to each X on the map, then use the Augur of the Obscure to discover the anomaly's exact location. These time breaches are not visible to mortal eyes. The Augur, however, perceives time and space very differently. Gazing through it will allow you to peer through the veil, to see things both visible and invisible. Things like these breaches. Precisely. Think of them like bandages, I suppose, or tourniquets. The chrononymics they contain will stabilize the rifts and harden the walls of time around them, rendering the breaches harmless. They are quite... I serve as the chief law master here on Artaeum, a grand title for a modest pursuit, truth be told. I protect and maintain our various libraries and archives, safeguard the details of our Order's history, that sort of thing. 863 at last count, not including the Right Master's personal collection, of course. Don't trouble yourself looking for them. Many of them exist in quasi-planes and hermetic mind spheres. It helps keep things tidy. Comparatively, yes. Many of my peers spend their days examining the nature of reconstituted souls and studying Etara dream residue. Still, I love my work. It also affords me the opportunity to spend time with our initiates. Of sorts. I educate students on the importance of compassion, discipline, objectivity, and the like. Our Order's chief virtues. It can be very rewarding, provided the students take such lessons to heart. I am confident you will be such a student.
Forgive me, friend of Valserin. These tomes require my strict attention. Some of them have a tendency to misbehave. Please.
Hail. Yes, can I help you? Right. You're the Order's new initiate. I didn't expect you so soon. Things here on Artaeum are normally, you know, snailish. I transcribed our seer's visions onto the map there, and collected these Psijic seals. The augur, however, I don't. Please don't tell the lore master. It tricked me into dismissing the binding charms that keep it here, in the Athenaeum. Then it popped like a bubble and vanished. It escaped before, but never on my watch. Mercifully, yes. I just scried its location. It looks like it reappeared somewhere on the shores of Wasting Coraldale. It didn't take long for some sea elves to scoop it up and squirrel it away. You'll have to steal it back. I am sorry, truly. I'm indebted. You'll definitely need the auger on your quest. Without it, you'll never find those time breaches. The lore master didn't tell you? All right. How to explain it? The auger is a skull. Sort of. It's really a crystalline entity that resembles a skull. Some think it's from the head of an ancient mage, but I don't believe that for a minute. It's hard to say. Once you have a few conversations with it, you'll see what I mean. Yes, incessantly. I think that's why Lore Master Kellerus made me its caretaker. No one else wants to listen to it. You should know that it lies constantly, unless you ask it a direct question. If you do that, it's compelled to always tell the truth. It will. Stirring up the auger's power will give you a second sight. The skull sees time differently. Well, it sees practically everything differently, but time most of all. I think it's fascinating. I just wish the little bugger wasn't so sneaky. The seals are one of the Order's oldest tools. They act as a sort of anchor, shoring up any wayward spirits or forces in a given place. When Nirn was still young, the veil was much looser, more unpredictable, you know? So the Aldmer made these. None at all. We've been refining them for thousands of years, remember? Just take one in your hand when you reach a tear, and the seal will do the rest. I am. You look surprised. Right, of course. It's not racial bias. The Psijic Order doesn't have any axes to grind. It's just a matter of circumstance. Psijic study is an Aldmeri tradition, for one thing. High Elves also live a long time and have more natural aptitude. It's a long story. I was the heiress to a crown magnifica. Our house was prosperous, well-respected. When Kellerus offered to take me to Artaeum, I cast off my duties immediately and left the family's fortunes in the hands of my brother. He drove our family into shame and poverty, pretty much immediately. I try not to think about it. Let's change the subject, all right? You have lots to do and very little time to do it.
I knew it the moment we met back at the ruins. I sensed there was something special about you. The fact that Valcerin hasn't stopped talking about you just confirms my original assessment. I'm glad I was able to help you escape that mind trap. That strange pearl has certainly been reluctant to reveal its secrets. The Rite Master hates it when an inanimate object refuses to cooperate. Regarding the amplification elixir, I just cataloged it. It's a Sotha Seal creation, as you'd expect. What? No, not in the traditional sense. He's not one of our monks, if that's what you're asking. More like an honorary member, I guess you'd say. According to my records, the silver vial should be right over there. As soon as the pearl arrived via Valcerin's transference spell, the Rite Master gathered the conclave to prepare an augury ritual. He's been cycling sages through to keep them fresh, while slowly increasing the intensity of the ritual. I'm the Rite Master's acolyte. I have other duties to perform. Besides, such a complex ritual requires the power of the conclave of the 11 forces. I'm not that strong yet. Under the Rite Master's tutelage, I expect to attain that rank. One day. Why does every high elf think they're superior to the rest of us? Being an Altmer isn't a prerequisite for joining the Psijic Order. The Rite Master saw my potential and honored me with an invitation. I'm proud of what I've accomplished here. I'm not allowed to reveal where you are or how our magic works, other than to tell you that you have arrived upon the fabled island of the Psijic Order, Artaeum. While we're not currently part of Nirn's reality, we still keep track of events there. I could say we have our ways and leave it at that, but you deserve a better explanation. The Rite Master sends Psijics back to the world to perform tasks and gather information. Plus, we have powerful scrying magic that reveals all sorts of details. I was examining the vial of amplification elixir myself just a short time ago. It should be right over there. As soon as the pearl...
Was Oriandra able to direct you to the proper elixir? Without something to amplify the magic, our ritual is going to fail. Just in time. For the next stage of the ritual, if you have no objections, I'd like you to join us. Your experiences alongside Valcerin might help reveal what has so far eluded our efforts. We'll handle the magic. You pour the elixir into the scrying pool and stand close. As the ritual's power amplifies, your experiences with the Pearl and the false Aldark should help the augury do its job. We want to discover the origin of the Pearl and its strange magic. In addition, anything we can learn about the false Aldark and his connection to the Pearl would be helpful. Otherwise, we're stepping blindly into Oblivion's maw here. Pour the elixir into the pool. That should provide the final boost we need to trigger the augury.
Here we stand, the most favored servants of Clavicus Vile, Mephala, and Nocturnal, on the verge of the greatest victory for our princes.
Are you sure those creatures can be trusted?
Have no fear. Isn't that why we formed the Court of Bedlam? Besides, what happens next in Relenthiel will seal Summerset's fate.
That was unnerving. It seems the false Aldark belonged to an alliance of Daedric cultists called the Court of Bedlam. Imagine, the faithful of Clavicus Vile, Mephala, and Nocturnal working together. This is more serious than I anticipated. No, but I'm hardly an expert on the Daedric cults of Tamriel. The magic I sensed in the pearl, though, it doesn't contain the taint of oblivion. We're missing something. But what? I hoped you'd say that. Relenthiel sits to the west of Shimmerine, just across the mountains. I'll send Valcerin with you to talk to the Cannon Reeve. The false Aldark may be dead, but Mephala and Nocturnal's agents remain, as well as the pearls. I may not be a natural prognosticator, but I had a feeling you might. Go ahead. I'll answer what I can. From what I've experienced, an alliance isn't just unusual, it's contrary to their very nature. Oh, they'll work together from time to time, but something as complex as what Sotha Seal hinted at is unheard of. Makes me interested to learn more. Very little, I'm afraid. The last time I passed through that area was more than 350 years ago. They made an exquisite wine, as I recall, and the House of Reveries theater troupe always put on an entertaining show. The augury ritual extracted a vision of the false Aldark and the Court of Bedlam, but nothing specifically about the Pearl. Its magic isn't Daedric, though. How they can steal life energy and use it to summon those sea creatures remains a mystery.